join me in welcoming Dr. Saurabh Srivastava, Chairman Emeritus, TiE Delhi-NCR, a pioneering architect of India's startup ecosystem and a tireless advocate for innovation-driven growth. Dr. Saurabh Srivastava is a Padma Shri awardee, and he's India's leading entrepreneur, investor, and institution builder. He co-founded and chaired NASSCOM, IVCA, TiE, and Indian Angel Network. Can we have a huge round of applause? I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, who is steering India's scientific institutions into a new era of deep tech research and innovation. And we can't wait to hear from both of them. A very warm welcome. Thanks so much.
So good morning, everyone, or rather, yeah, it is still good morning. And I want to welcome you to the keynote session for today. This is the single most important part of this TiECon today. And before I introduce Professor Karandikar properly, let me set the context. You know, today, we are all very used to seeing America as a global leader. Economy, technology, innovation, entrepreneurship, everything. But most of us don't realize that when the World War II ended, America was none of that. Global leadership was in Europe on technology. And America did what we have been doing, licensing technology from the UK principally and other parts of Europe. That's what they did. And then in 1945, President Roosevelt commissioned a report, and he requested his head, director of science, research and development, equivalent of Professor Abhay Karandikar in America at that time. And he came out with a report which said Science, the Endless Frontier. That report said to the government of the US that the government needs to invest heavily in building science talent, investing in research and development, creating scientific infrastructure, and encouraging private sector to invest in R&D. Because of that one move, America's fortunes changed. That's why it is where it is today. That is what we are trying to do now. That's why the RDI Fund and the Anusandhan Research Foundation are critical for India. And that's why Professor Karandikar is the key person today for the country, not for just science and technology, because he's sitting at the crossroads of academic excellence, industry, innovation, and national transformation. So the Department of Science and Technology used to be like a support ministry led by a scientist. Today, it's a frontline ministry. This will determine what happens to us on strategic autonomy. Because as you know, today, global landscape is changing. Borders are being closed. Everything today, whether it's trade, technology, minerals, all of these supply chains, all of them are being weaponized. And for India, therefore, national sovereignty now means technology sovereignty. And we have so far underinvested. Government has underinvested. The corporate sector is far, far worse. The government spends 2/3, corporate sector spends 1/3. Globally, it's the reverse. We spend 18 billion. Today we spend 18 billion. China spends 450. Israel spends 25. We are trying to move to 200. So it's a very key path for us to take. And now I want to introduce Professor Karandikar properly because he is the right man for the job. Today, you don't need in this position somebody who's just a brilliant scientist. That he is. He's built the first, he has papers, he has awards, and he built India's first technology, telecom standards society. But he ran IIT Kanpur for 5 years and transformed it. And today, apart from other things, in his tenure, he set up the School of Medical Research and Technology, the 6-bed hospital. So he's a brilliant administrator, a strategist, and execution rolled into one. And I can say this with some authority because I'm on the board of IIT Kanpur. So we got to see how he operates. And he's probably been the best leader at IIT Kanpur in many decades. So I want to welcome him here. And let me start by asking him, because you have many questions, tell us a little bit about the RDI fund. What is the ambition? What are we trying to do? Why is it so important?
First of all, thank you very much for the very kind introduction and for inviting me here. As Dr. Saurabh mentioned, the Research, Development and Innovation Fund, I should say, is a very, very transformative and bold initiative of the Government of India. In the sense that so far, there have been many schemes and many programs where the government has given grants for R&D in academic institutions, universities, research labs, and so on. There are programs, DST's program, Department of Biotechnology's program, then Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, which over the years have supported incubators and have also supported startups in some way. But there has not been any program which this RDI fund is to support the R&D and innovation directly in the private sector, including corporates, industries, as well as the startups. So in that sense, this is one of the most transformative initiatives of 1 lakh crore, which is equivalent to about 10 billion or 10 to 11 billion US dollars. So therefore, the amount is also very large, needs to be deployed over a period of about 6 to 7 years. So every year, about 15,000-20,000 crores will get deployed. So in that sense, this is historically, I would rate it as a very bold initiative. Now, what was the objective? The objective was, as Dr. Saurabh mentioned, that generally we have seen in the last, several decades, while, there have been several deep tech startups and very, very innovative technology developments and by our, industries, generally, we have seen that private sector has shied away from investing in cutting-edge R&D, which require longer gestation period. So, if a cutting-edge R&D requires, 6 to 7 or 8 years of the gestation period, and after that, the returns are going to be uncertain, there has been a general reluctance of private sector or industry in investing in such R&D. So a cutting edge R&D, particularly in some of the key sectors of economy or technology sectors which are really driving the evolution today of the global economy, whether it is in the energy sector, whether it is in the biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, medical devices or technology, biomanufacturing, or whether it is in the area of deep techs like quantum, robotics, space, defense tech, semiconductors, telecom, or whether it is in the area of digital economy, precision agriculture, or this artificial intelligence, AI, and so on. In these sunrise sectors, where the gestation periods are long and returns are uncertain, the fund is exactly meant for that. This fund, we hope that it will get deployed in technology sectors where you need patient capital, where where private sector is finding it risky. The government is willing to take that initial risk and mitigate to some extent, and we hope that this will give the confidence to the investors and the private sectors for investing more, because the government is taking the initial risk for seeding the R&D in those technology sectors. So this is really, at a very 30,000 feet level, a very broad concept. The Union Cabinet approved it on 1st July this year. The Department of Science and Technology is the nodal ministry for operationalizing this fund. And for the last 3 months, we have spent time in, working on the scheme guidelines and frameworks and etc. And soon you will see more details coming out, and I will be happy to give you more detail. But I thought this is really the basic objective and the concept for this fund.
So let me pick up one thing there, because all of you know that the investment in startups actually started to happen when the fund of funds of SIDBI came around, because it created a lot of daughter funds. The total amount was 10,000 crores, and that has been done over 10 years. This is a multiple of that, and it's focused on specific sectors. But as you said, Professor Karandikar, that there are many government schemes that run, and this is different. Maybe you might want to talk about how will we execute that? How will it be managed? Not through government, but through experts.
So I think one thing is that, as I mentioned, the Department of Science and Technology is the nodal ministry, but we will not be investing directly in the industry or in the startups. This fund will identify the second level fund managers. Now, the second level fund managers could be alternate investment funds, AIFs, registered with SEBI. We can also contribute to a fund of funds. We can also create a deep tech fund of funds. The second level fund managers could be the development financial institutions, DFIs. It could be NBFCs also. Or it could be the focused research organizations, FROs like IIT Research Parks, or BIRAC of Department of Biotechnology, or Technology Development Board of the DST. So basically, this fund is being set up as a special purpose fund, which is the custodian of this 1 lakh crore. But this fund will identify the second level fund managers. It will contribute, it will do the contributions to AIFs, for example. It can contribute to fund of funds. It can provide long-term loan to organizations like BIRAC or TDB or some development financial institutions, DFIs and all. Then this second level fund managers will then actually select the projects, select the companies, select the startups and make investment in them. the government, the actual selection of the project, the actual selection of the companies, we will not be involved. We are only creating a broad set of guidelines and guardrails which we would like the AIFs or the fund managers to follow, because to meet the overall objective of creating a deep tech ecosystem in certain sunrise sectors. As long as those broad guardrails and broad guidelines are followed by these second level fund managers, the actual selection of the projects, the actual selection of the startups, etc., will be left to the investment committees of these second level fund managers, the boards of these second level fund managers, etc. So this is a two-tier structure through which we will be operating this fund. And just last one more point I wanted to say is that in the government, like for example, in the Department of Science and Technology, when I give some grants to an IIT or an IISc, we generally insist that the general financial rules, the GFR 2017 shall apply in utilization of the grants. This fund, I think, is very unique in the sense that Union Cabinet approved that liberalized financial rules will be followed and general financial rules will not be applicable. So the Department of Science and Technology has framed a set of very liberalized financial rules. We will be putting it for public consultations also. If there are suggestions from you, we will be happy to even take that. So in summary, the fund will operate through a two-tier structure. The actual deployment will happen through these second-level fund managers.
So I think the comforting thing about that, if I may state it in our own terms, is that the government wants this money to go into deep tech startups, nowhere else. And it's pretty broad definition that Professor Karandikar did. Now, when you do that, you're taking high risks. There'll be a lot of failures. And if this was left for management and investment decisions by government, then those risks would not be taken. Government recognizes that. Therefore, what Professor Karandikar said, this will be invested through intermediate entities which have their own investment committees, their own boards, industry people, experts, financial experts. They will take the risk. They will take the bets. Government will be at arm's length. And so government wants this money to be deployed and to be deployed very quickly. And to decode what Professor Karandikar said about GFR, so the government's general financial rules hobble you a little bit in operating freely, because you can be held to account. Later on, you didn't float a tender for this. I mean, there are all kinds of rules. Government recognizes that. And therefore, for the execution and deployment of this money, those rules are not going to apply. So the intention is very clear. The government wants this money to be invested. It wants people to take risks, and it's willing to write off this money. That has never happened before. There is a seriousness of intent which in industry at the moment we don't fully understand. And I only say this because I'm on loads of WhatsApp groups, product groups, NASCOM groups, whatever. There is a lot of skepticism. Oh, one more government scheme. I don't think they fully get the fact that this is very targeted, very serious, because at stake is our national strategic autonomy, and the government understands that. So let me ask you a related question there. Is we're going to do this in deep tech, but what is your sense of what's happening in deep tech in industry? Do you see enough happening, or because you meet startups and whatever, just to get an idea?
So I think there are about 1,70,000 startups registered as with the DPIIT. Now, it is our estimate that maybe 20,000 of them could be technology startups and 4,000 could be really very, very cutting edge deep tech startups. Some of them we are supporting through various missions of the DST also directly or indirectly, whether it is a national quantum mission or whether it is a national mission on cyber physical system that DST had launched, or whether some of our other incubator programs are there. Some of the deep tech startups have been supported through programs of Ministry of Defense like IDAX or MITE's TIDE programs, or Department of Biotechnologies, through BIRAC. So overall, I think if you really look at the cutting edge startups, there may be about 3, 4, 5,000, and the technology startups maybe 20,000. But what is heartening is that increasingly, if I see in the last few years, last maybe 15, 20 years, increasingly the focus in some of our premier academic institutions like IITs, IISc, and some of the research labs of our ministries have been increasingly shifting on cutting edge research and technology development. Even in IITs now, the focus has really shifted. Of course, a lot more can be done, but compared to, let's say, 30 years back or 40 years, when I was a student, the focus has significantly shifted now towards cutting-edge research, translational research. And even, IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur, they are at the forefront of filing patents with both, our Indian Patent Office and at the US Patent Office. In fact, among the organizations last year, for example, IIT Madras was listed as the topmost organizations filing the number of patents. So the scenario is clearly shifting. The translational research is happening. There are young innovators and entrepreneurs. What was really lacking is that for these young innovators and entrepreneurs wanting to do the cutting edge startups or taking the technology from the labs to a commercializable product, we did not have, the funding, adequate funding mechanism. Now this fund specifically, and I will come to that, this fund we have specifically mentioned that RDI fund will specifically fund projects from TRL level 4 and above. Usually it has been said that there is a money, through our government, various government schemes, through various government agencies to fund academic research from TRL 1 to TRL 3. And when a business case is there and when a product is available, there is a money to take it from that stage to a market. So there is a money available from TRL 6 or TRL 7 to TRL 9 and further productization level. Typically, I think we do not have the funding from TRL 4 to TRL 7 level, which sometimes, it is called, it is a valley of death. And most of the ideas, therefore, may die for want of filling that gap from a lab scale prototype to a commercializable product or something. And this fund will really fill that gap. In fact, we have mentioned it, that one of the objectives of this fund is to fund TRL level 4 and above projects in the sunrise sector. So that is one of the very, very important objective. The second the objective that in this fund we wanted, and which could be leveraged by our deep tech researchers, is that this fund we have also mentioned is that if you want to jumpstart and acquire the technologies from elsewhere, and then take that technology and then from that do your R&D and take it to the next level, that would be possible. This fund will also be able to finance the acquisition and acquiring the ownership of some of the critical technology components, so that, India, in India we can do a jump start. We don't have to really start. For example, in my area of research, like in wireless communication, if you want to do like a 6G research, you don't have to starting from, let's say, doing 2G, 3G, 4G, which, other leading tech companies in the world have evolved. You could actually acquire some startups either abroad. You could acquire certain technology components and then start building on that. So this fund can also be used for this so that, we can really focus on, as Dr. Saurabh mentioned, achieving a product economy and a strategic autonomy in these sunrise sectors. And I feel that we have enough talent and enough critical mass in some of our premier institutions to take that, to provide that kind of a pipeline.
I think maybe I should just add one more thing. Apart from the funds putting in as equity in startups, this fund will also allow debt to be given to a startup. So you could, as a startup, instead of diluting equity, take a 10, 15-year debt at 3% interest. No recourse, no personal guarantees, no collateral. And there'll be an option for the RDI fund or its second level fund managers to convert some part of that debt into equity in a later round. So in effect, while it's not a grant, it's very similar to it. And it will kind of mirror the kind of assistance that you can get in many countries, like the US or whatever. So again, it's to allow companies the bandwidth, the time, the investment to go into development of deep tech. So a lot of talk has been there on patient capital not being in India. This fund is trying to solve that in a very huge and a very mega way. And the expectation, of course, they have is that as the money becomes available, more entrepreneurs will come out of the woodwork and start to do more deep tech startups. So one more question. There was one thing you told me once about this Australian Policy Institute, because people feel we are nowhere in tech, nowhere in R&D. And you had told me once, no, it's not that bad. So maybe you want to talk about that.
So I think what Dr. Saurabh is referring to Australian Strategy Policy Institute's report, which was published last year. So that institute is tracking 64 critical technologies. So just based upon high impact factor publications in the last 5 years. So this is not actually technology development or product. This is just, publications and patents on the last 5 years. So out of 64, it is interesting to see that China leads in 57 of the 64 critical technologies, and US leads in 7 of those 57. But India figures within top 5 in 45 of the 64 critical technologies. And in about 10 of these 64 critical technologies, we are in top 3. Now, this is only based upon, as I mentioned again, I would like to caution that based upon publications, high impact factor publications, which are rated very high. So what does it tell? It tells that India is producing as a high quality research, which is rated as within top 3 in 10 and top 5. However, so for example, in top 3, we are, for example, rated as top 3 in quantum sensing. Now, if you see that, do we have a technology company which is developing globally competitive product? The answer is clearly no. So what does it mean? It means that we do have a deep tech research going on in our research labs and institutions. What we need is that we need to convert that research into technology development, product development, and a commercializable entity. So that part is clearly missing. We therefore need to fill that gap, that how do I leverage this possibility that I am in top 5 in 45 of the technologies, but I am not in top 5 in terms of the technology development and in terms of having a globally competitive product. So that means we have a talent, we have a research pool, and we really need to harness that in order to develop a really globally competitive product economy. And with this really objective, I should say, the government had launched this scheme, that Research Development and Innovation Fund. Now, when the government is investing 1 lakh crore, it is our belief that this will catalyze or crowd in further private sector fund. We hope when the government has taken a risk of 1 lakh crore, and as Dr. Saurabh mentioned, it is either in the form of equity or in the form of long-term unsecured loans, we hope that it will catalyze maybe 10 times more these, or a 10 lakh crore fund from the private sector investors, industry, corporates, which then I think we will be able to accelerate and catalyze our deep tech research and pipelines into developing globally competitive products for the world. And I think that is really the vision with which this fund has been set up. Clearly, 10 billion US dollars is not sufficient to develop globally competitive companies in 10 sectors. But we are believing this $10 billion is the seed that will catalyze 10 times, and $150 billion is certainly will be there to catalyze, one company each of these 10 strategic sectors.
No, and there's evidence of that. Because the 10,000 crore fund of funds with SIDBI, actually 90,000 crores really got invested. So there was a 1 to 9, and that will happen here. But I would add one more thing, which is that, I also mentioned that China does 450 billion, but in the next 10 years, we should get to 200 billion. So it looks a small number. But the fact is that we are amazingly cost efficient in how we do this. And therefore, for us, that might work. And I just wanted to give, if you don't mind, 2 or 3 examples. So let me just give you a couple of 3, 4 examples. He talked about what's happening in IITs and IISCs. So in IIT Madras, so they have developed images of the fetal brain at a resolution 10 times higher than anybody in the world, and at 1/10 of the cost. IIT Kanpur is quite a ways ahead in building an artificial heart. It will be 1/7 of the global cost. IIT Bombay has developed CAR T cell therapy for cancer. It will be available to Indian patients at 1/10 of the global cost. And IIC in Bangalore has done something very interesting. What they have done is a brain-inspired analog computing platform. And this mimics the brain. So it has 16,500 conductant states in a single molecular film instead of the binary digital era. And this will revolutionize AI computing by replacing binary logic of conventional machines with a much more efficient neuromorphic system. So it gives you an idea of what's possible. I think we've lost our confidence, self-confidence in our own abilities in science. And I think this fund, part of the hope of government is that it would rekindle that. And although there's a session where Shiv will be on ANRF, but maybe you want to give the linkage between ANRF and RDI fund.
So I think let me just now give a little more details of this. So this, as I mentioned, that this RDI fund will be set up as a special purpose fund as a custodian within ANRF. And ANRF has a governing board which is chaired by the Prime Minister and as an executive council chaired by the principal scientific advisor. And as I mentioned, that this special purpose fund will identify the second level fund managers. The quantum of financing can be a long-term loan, unsecured and at low interest rate, 3 to 4%, and or a contribution to a deep tech fund of funds or a contributions to AIFs, which can then invest in the equity. So what we are, however, this fund will require that And by the way, it is not just for the startups, even corporates can avail this. So that is actually sort of possible. This fund will work as an independent business unit in ANRF. It will have a professionally managed team as well, which will be involved in monitoring and identifying the second level fund managers. We are hoping that this fund gets launched on 3rd of November. Then, we will be issuing, we will be making public all the details, including the scheme guidelines, the liberalized financial rules, and so on. So I think that will be a broad governance structure for the fund.
Okay. We'll open it up to a few questions now. I think I see Shiv is here. In his session, he will talk a little bit about what is being done for the academic side, the TRL up to 3 or 4, what will be done there, and that links up with the RDI fund, which only does it for the private sector. So you'll get that full linkage from here to there. So somebody raised a hand. Okay, I'll take the lady first. Is somebody giving the mics?
I'm Dolly Bhasin.
So I just request, if you do your name and keep the question short, so we can take more questions.
So apart from the government initiatives, there are a lot of private entrepreneurs like me who are working on creating enabling environment for looking at the India-specific problems, which are currently at a very nascent stage, but can take a huge proportion of our this thing, and where technology can help. For example, there are 148 plus backward.
So what is your question?
Yeah. So my question is that there is a new model which is coming up, which is basically the venture studio model, where entrepreneurs get together and try to take a stake in their companies which are doing research, but do not have the necessary kind of expertise to take it global.
So that may not be in the domain of the RDI fund.
Not in
there
the
may
RDI.
be other schemes.
So in the ANRF fund,
so that will be in the next session, right, Shiv? So you can ask him on that.
The venture studio model is basically whatever are the funds which can be really, for example, in sustainability
So if
space.
I may just stop you there, because I'd like to take questions that relate to the RDI fund.
Yeah.
And maybe you should ask this in his session, because maybe they're doing
just give
more
me
of
1
that.
minute, please.
No, no.
Is
No.
related to this, because when we really do any research at the TRL level 4, to reach TRL level 4, there is a lot of input that is required
So
from experts.
let me, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I will request you to
Please,
hold
thank
on, because the TRL, up to TRL 4, will be covered in the next session, and then you can ask that question. Okay, this is TRL 4 and beyond. Who else had a question? Rajat?
Sir, my name is Rajat. I represent the IVCA. I think your session, sir, and Saurabh, sir, has literally left no scope for any questions, further questions. But on behalf of the association and in the fund managers which we represent, I think I really wanted to say a deep thank you, because up till now, I think a lot of investments have happened in health, fintech, e-commerce, commerce tech. I'm sure deep tech will also see a lot of value coming in, and that's what this country needs. And we are very grateful that for all the sunrise sectors, this initiative has been put across by the government. Really grateful, sir. Thank you so much, and best wishes to all of us.
Okay.
This is Rohin from Lightspeed Photonics, and I wanted to understand a thought process behind why investing in fund of funds rather than doing matching funds with the deep tech investors, because when you said patient capital, most of the funds have their own life and have their obligations to their investors. compared to if you co-invest like a matching fund similar to available funds in Singapore, you can be a direct influencer and beneficiary as well as government, and you can do that 1 to 10 investments further on, taking these funds further.
Yeah, so I think this is a good question, so let me answer this. So as approved, I think the RDI fund itself, we will be first level custodian, keeping 1 lakh crore, we will not be directly investing or co-investing. But this RDI fund will give money to, let's say, an organization of DST, which is a Technology Development Board, which also we are sort of restructuring. That Technology Development Board can co-invest with another deep tech fund. That is definitely possible. And so that may be the indirect mechanism of having a co-investment with other AIFs.
Yeah, I mean, with all due respect, academicians, while they're really good at identifying below TRL level 4, but above, when it comes to identifying the right deep tech companies, the investors are the better judges.
No,
So
but that is that is what he said earlier, that it is for that reason that neither academics nor government are going to take investment decisions. They will be taken by the funds, their investment committees, and that's the reason why the architecture has been defined that way.
No academician is deciding, which company to be invested.
that's a welcome change. Thank you so much. And
Yeah, please.
Can I just raise a point? Abhay sir, you will remember me from Applied Materials. I was a mentor to a deep tech startup then. And that startup had a vision to create a product in photonics. Over the years, that vision they conceptualized in a real product. But they didn't get the support from India. They got the equity from Singapore. Okay, how do we get such projects back to India where there's a strong promise that their technology can offer to our markets? Not just to our markets, but to the global markets.
So if such company wants to get relocated, and if they are by Indians, this fund they will be able to tap this fund. So by the way, this fund, we are clear that, so 2 conditions we will sort of have. We don't mind who are the second level fund managers. They can be any professionals. But we would like the startup to be controlled by the resident Indians. So they should be Indians, that we will want. The majority shareholders can also be somewhere else, okay? But the management control should rest with the Indians, and the global headquarters also should be Indian. So if someone wants to shift back the global headquarters to India, they are Indians, this fund will be eligible. Even if the majority shareholders with someone else, but the management control is entirely with Indians, and the IPRs will be in Indian, the global headquarters will be in Indian, this fund will be happy to help that.
Okay. You had a question.
This question is addressed to Dr. Karandikar. My name is Abhay. We are developing a next generation battery for EV applications, defense applications, all kinds of submarines and drones and whatever. We are in the second phase of the project, and we're being developed both at IIT Madras, and some of it is working in IIT Delhi. We have approached the government many times regarding funding this project at different levels of ministries and different levels of defense establishments. We discovered that most government funding happens through layers of decision makers and committees and approvals, and take weeks and weeks and months at times. It would make sense for government to think of creating a ministry of entrepreneurship who takes care of the top-down view of what's important for the country, what will make sense to push and promote and move forward faster than going through the layers of bureaucracy. Ultimately, the decision is made by bureaucratic principles, not by the quality of the product you're doing.
So I think she will talk about the ANRF. We have been funding programs that you mentioned. We had a mission on electric vehicles there. We have funded battery research, etc. The decisions have been faster. They have not been any through layered committees and so on. So that, I think, and that agency is the ANRF, which is funding the research. And it will fund research in some of these solution-focused and outcome-oriented mission mode projects. So I think he will speak more about that. There are no layered funding. There is a technical evaluations, and the decisions will be made faster. As far as this RDI fund is concerned, we will spend some time in selecting the second level fund managers, but the second level fund managers, they can take the decisions faster to select a particular company or a particular startups or a project.
Thank you.
Okay, so maybe two more questions. One and then this lady behind. Okay. Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm K.N. Agarwal from Allied Info Services. It is to Dr.
Your mic is off. Keep it closer to your mouth.
Yeah. So I'm K.N. Agarwal from Allied Info Services. I just wanted to ask one thing to Dr. Karandikar. Just now you said majority shareholder can be out of India, but management control should be in India. So what I understand, the shareholders out of India, how management control can be in India?
Yeah. So I think there is this definition, RBI has defined, there is a definition of FDI also, where the company is owned or controlled by the resident Indians. That is one. Company owned by resident Indians but controlled by someone else. Company ownership is not defined but controlled by the resident Indians. So controlling by the resident Indians would mean that the entire management control, including the board level decisions, rests with the resident Indians.
That will not be with the shareholders, that means, right?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But of course, it can be owned and controlled also. It can be owned by resident Indians, but they are not really running the company. Someone else is running the company. So they don't have any, so that can also be there.
But fundamentally, you're saying global headquarters is here. So it's worldwide revenues and profits accrue within India. Just go ahead.
Hi, good morning, sir. This is Smita Mishra from Fandoro Technologies. Very quickly, when you are launching this fund, will the aspects of sustainability be stitched into it from the very start, meaning things like responsible AI, ethical AI, renewable power usage, carbon emissions? Will those be stitched in from the start, or is it too early for it?
I think what will be stitched from the start is that the priority sectors we have defined, the project should be deep tech and cutting edge. It should be TRL level 4 and above. Rest of the things we don't want to get into the details of both in terms of the contours of the projects, its attributes, and also its business case. That will be left to the investment committees or the second level fund managers when what is their investment philosophy in funding the project. But as far as we are concerned, as long as it is in the priority sectors, and clean energy sustainability according to us is one of the sectors. Okay, and as long as the project is in that sector, that should be fine.
Yeah, just to clarify, if you have 1,000 crore fund and the RDI fund contributes 250 crores, condition will be that this 250 out of 1,000 must go into what has been specified as by RDI.
Our question is that, no, I understand your question. Her question is that if you are investing in an AI company, are you looking whether the company is doing a responsible AI or not? Yes. I think the answer is that that decision, we are not taking that decision. We are not stretching our investment thesis to that level. We hope that there will be other regulatory framework available elsewhere to sort of look at that space. But as long as the company is concerned, we will look at the technology attributes and the priority sectors. The other aspects, we will not say that if you are developing a technology that must be sustainable and that must be responsible. I think that will be other guardrails and regulatory frameworks that will manage that.
Okay. With that, I bring this session
Yes,
to close, and I want to thank Professor Karandikar for being here today. You can probably catch him in the coffee lounge. We're actually we're delaying the next session, so I will
Some
close that now.
fantastic
Thank you very
interactions
much.
there. Thank you so much. That's the quantum mindset we need, where research meets national strategy. Thank you so much to our eminent panelists, and we would like to present you with a token of our appreciation. We would also like to thank our co-partners, Ivy Cap Ventures, and our airline partner, Lufthansa Group, for their support.